In 1962, during the feverish rise of a folk revival shaking London and New York, a young Bob Dylan encountered a centuries-old English ballad that would quietly alter the course of his songwriting forever. It wasn't a headline moment, nor a discovery he shouted from the rooftops. But what Dylan heard that year sank deep into the bones of his craft, resurfacing later in two of his most iconic songs. That ancient song was the timeless folk classic Scarborough Fair. Back then, New York's Greenwich Village was exploding with ideas, voices, and rebellion. Dylan arrived in 1961 carrying the spirit of Woody Guthrie, the man he called his guiding light. But while Guthrie wrote boldly about politics, Dylan was carving out something more personal, a fusion of old-world melodies, raw emotion, and the kind of poetic storytelling that would soon make him a legend. This journey brought him straight to Scarborough Fair, a folk ballad dating back to at least the 17th century. It survived not through sheet music, but through memory and tradition, passed from singer to singer, village to village, gathering centuries of meaning along the way. Its imagery of herbs, rituals, longing, and a 45-day fair gave it a haunting, dreamlike spirit that endured deep into the 20th century. The song had been revived in the 1960s by English folk musician Martin Carthy, a key figure in the British folk renaissance. And during Dylan's first trip to Britain in 1962, the two met, an encounter well documented by historians and by the musicians themselves. Carthy later recalled teaching Dylan several traditional ballads during those weeks, one of them being Scarborough Fair. Dylan absorbed the melody immediately. Just a year later, the influence appeared unmistakably. In 1963, Dylan released Girl from the North Country on the freewheelin' Bob Dylan. The melodic connection to Carthy's arrangement is clear, and Dylan even borrowed the line, "Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine." Musicologists and Carthy himself have confirmed the connection many times. In Dylan's world, this wasn't theft, it was tradition. Folk singers borrowed, reshaped, and reinvented constantly. Dylan echoed the song again in 1964 on The Times They Are A-Changin', with boots of Spanish leather. Though lyrically different, the structure, tone, and emotional pull trace a direct lineage back to the ancient English ballad. It wasn't copying, it was evolution. Meanwhile, another major artist would take Scarborough Fair into worldwide fame later in the decade. Paul Simon learned the song from Martin Carthy as well, but unlike Dylan, he recorded it nearly note for note with Scarborough Fair/Canticle in 1966. Its success skyrocketed after being featured in The Graduate the next year. This led to a long dispute. Carthy said he wasn't properly credited. Simon admitted he'd been naive, and years later the two finally reconciled on stage in 2000. But Dylan had long moved past the song. He didn't copy it, he transformed it. To him, Scarborough Fair was a springboard, a seed that helped him grow into one of the most influential songwriters of all time. And while Dylan's music shaped generations, part of his own foundation came from a simple melody taught to him by Martin Carthy in 1962, an echo from centuries past that still resonates in music today. This is StarLoop News, bringing you the stories behind the legends. If you enjoyed this dive into music history, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss a moment of the magic behind the music.